to night school where shadows creep. Grab your popcorn, don't fall asleep. The doors are open, let the nightmares play. You won't make it out today. Welcome to night school. The doors have reopened.
All right, everybody, sit down, shut up.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys rushed in here, huh? You guys just rushed in here. Anyway, I was drinking my medicine. Everyone sit down. Welcome to Night School Horror. I'm Mista Malave, aka Matthew Malave, and I'll be your professor for this evening's class.
Hold on. I have a question.
No questions. Fine.
Okay, so hello, Big Money Eddie here, Grand Wizard of Horror. You're in my school, which is called Night School Horror, which has the same name as the old Night School Horror. Why are you teaching?
That's a good question. I was going to ask, why is he sitting next to me?
Well, I mean,
and why did he get the sticky chair and not me?
Well, first of all, I mean,
it is
you
a little
guys
sticky,
sat
by the
wherever
way.
the hell you wanted to sit. All right. Second of all, that's just how we do shit. All right. I know you might be new to all of this shit. All right. And I know we're in your school, but how we used to do it is every week we get chances to teach this class. All right. And that's how that's how we've been doing it. And that's how we're going to stay doing it.
Oh, boom shakalaka. Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, Big Money Eddie, I'm just glad now I get to pull rank. All right.
Oh, okay. I'll give in. You do your thing. You do your thing.
You know what? If you need help with the stickiness, I'm pretty sure Mr. Oh So Smooth can help you out with that. But yeah, we called attendance for at least one person because he wanted to talk. Big Money Eddie, he's here. We all know that. And let's see who's next. Mr. Oh So Smooth, the movie guy. Baby, this is a long ass name. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I have a long names.
Yeah. You're probably gonna add one by the end of the semester, I guess.
I usually do. I usually add a new name, and I like to keep it long. I don't have long legs though.
Oh, well, you know what? That's why you're not tall.
Yes, that is true.
That's just facts right there.
Those are legitimate facts.
Yeah.
Not tall.
Well, you know what? You have a long name like a Puerto Rican. So at least you have something going on there because
it's plus.
I mean, we have one other person on this attendance, but I only see two of us in here. Along with me, that's three. Where is Florida's favorite creep?
I don't know. Have you seen her, Tom?
No. I was waiting. I was waiting for her outside, but I couldn't. I got nothing.
Interesting. Oh, hold on. Let me see. I think I just got an email. Speak of the devil, and the devil shall rise. This is from Sabrina, aka the Florida's favorite creep. She said, "Hey guys, sorry I could not make it to class tonight. After last week's episode, I started feeling weird and got summoned from the spirits that haunted our old school." And now she has to go and exercise them. Hopefully it can only take about 6 days, 7 tops. So I should be in class next week. All right. Well, she has to exercise some demons, apparently.
Exercise the demon. Yes.
This house is clear.
It's convenient and also very, very, very creepy. I don't know. Maybe she's enjoying it. I wouldn't enjoy it, but she, favorite creep.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's
she likes the creepiest
demons,
she does like the creepiest. So if it's creepy, she's right at home.
You know what? And then last week she did say she had nothing to do with it, but this email kind of solidifies.
Just going back to the crime scene.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna have to
clean
ask
up
her when we see her.
She might have to. She's cleaning up evidence and shit. Like,
probably.
She better not touch another conduit. I tell you that much.
She did, and she turned around too.
Yeah, right. Ridiculous.
Probably turning around again.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't stay in the corner and asks someone to come downstairs, then one of us is dead.
Well, we're fine. We're perfectly fine over here.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be
I
fine.
think.
We're
Yeah, because
I would hope we're safe.
I'm not gonna go wherever she tells me to go.
Nope.
Because it's probably not even her.
That's true.
But anyway, she'll be missed. Because today we have a doozy of a topic that we're gonna discuss. But before we start diving into our movie of the day, let's talk about a little current events happening in this horror world. And I'm not talking about Sabrina exorcising demons. All right. I read the other day, actually about 2 days ago, that a good old Stephen King movie is coming out. Did you guys hear about this?
I have. Yeah, I heard about it.
No, all right. Well, if you don't know what Stephen King movie that's getting a reboot, it is none other than Cujo. Yes, I'm talking about Cujo.
Lisa Kudrow?
Yeah,
well, she should be in the movie.
You said
honestly.
Kudrow.
I mean, sorry, Cujo. Sorry, I apologize.
You said Lisa Kudrow. Yeah. Very good.
Well, she better be in the movie, you know.
I don't think she's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, I doubt it. I would doubt it. Of course, we're talking about the novel that came out, that got adapted in 1981, right? No, the
movie's
83.
83 and
Yes.
the novel's like 81.
Right. It's about a rabid 200-pound Saint Bernard terrorizing a mother and her son. And yeah, how do you guys feel about that? It's getting rebooted by Netflix, and right now they're looking for writers. They have no director right now or cast. So all we know is that they're taking this movie and Netflix is going to run with it. I have some questions, but before, what do you guys think about this remake getting done by Netflix?
I think it's interesting because so from what I'm reading here, it says Roy Lee is going to produce the reboot, and he is the producer of Barbarian. As I mentioned last episode, I am a fan of Barbarian, and I was a fan of Companion. So that to me is a bright side. You're like, all right, you're putting somebody on there that can do a good job, but the question is are they a fan? You know, you have to be a fan of the original to make it good.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily, but because you might try to do it your own way, but
Or at least the novel. Be a fan of the novel.
Right. I agree. Be a fan of the novel. And it's interesting because I remember watching that, not obviously when it came out, but when I was little, because I would watch Beethoven. If you remember the movie Beethoven, and then you watch Cujo and you go, Beethoven? Beethoven's he's not a good boy no more. He's a bad boy.
But funny enough, as an adult, Beethoven is scarier than Cujo.
he's a menace. Okay, Beethoven is a menace, just destroying everything.
I would be so pissed off.
I would.
Decide.
I would too. But I feel so. Stephen King adaptations have been pretty disappointing. It's pretty rare to get a good one. They did Salem's Lot on Max, and I personally, I thought it was crap. I thought it was just was not good. I've seen a bunch of videos and TikTok videos of different other creators out there. Not going to name drop anybody, but I've seen a few of them, and they loved it. And I'm like, what? Are we watching the same fucking movie? This is not done well. It was completely rushed. The acting was poor, which is crazy because we have Lewis Pullman's in it, and that's Bill Pullman's son, so you would think be a little strong there. And he's going to be in fucking the Thunderbolts, so he's getting Marvel money now. And if you really think about the last adaptation of a Stephen King movie or a Stephen King book that was good, probably Dr. Sleep. Yeah, I would say it was Dr. Sleep. I enjoyed it. The first one especially, I thought they did a phenomenal job. Number 2 was kind of whack, but
then again, the second half of the book is kind of
whack.
Yeah, and it gets weird with the turtle and all that weird shit.
That's why they didn't do any turtles. They had the deadlights, which was okay.
Yes.
They
may get to a turtle thing because there is that Welcome to Derry series coming out, so they could touch on a few things. But I feel like with a Cujo on Netflix, so they obviously were like, we're not going to deal with Max anymore. We'll go to Netflix and we'll see what we can do here. It should. It should be fine, I guess. But it's going to be one of those, when we see the trailer, we'll know right away. We'll know if this is going to work or if this is not. I mean, the story's pretty straightforward. You can't fuck it up if you think about it. You're just not going to have Dee Wallace. So you got to replace Dee Wallace. Good luck.
I was going to say, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, for me, here is my problem with almost every adaptation of Stephen King, is that they want to get to the essence of the story. And the problem is, if you look at any Stephen King story, they are about a brick wide. They are lengthy. And the reason why they're lengthy and the reason why he is a good writer is because he focuses a lot on character development. He's not a plotter. So you can actually look at that. He doesn't know where he's going. Most of the time when he's writing, he's just like creating all these interwoven stories, and he's just developing the characters as they go along. And he might have a beginning and an end in mind, but he doesn't plot as he goes. So when you're trying to get to the essence of the story of a Stephen King novel, that's why most of them are shit anyway. Because when you're adapting it, you're just taking the bare bones of it, and the bare bones suck. What really makes him good is the character development, which is why you would think that the miniseries would work, and they still don't work. But I'm very hesitant to be happy with whenever they say they're adapting a new Stephen King novel, unless it's a non-horror, non-supernatural story. I'm usually concerned. If it's one of his non-horror, non-supernatural stories, I'm usually excited because usually they are phenomenal. If Shawshank, Green Mile,
Stand by Me.
Stand by Me, and we could keep going. Apt Pupil, phenomenal movie. A lot of people don't talk about that one too. So I'm really never concerned when it comes to his other type of fiction, but when it comes to his horror, especially his more psychedelic and out there supernatural stuff. First of all, people don't understand the state of mind he was in when he wrote most of that stuff. And secondly, they don't know how to handle it. How can you create like the Langoliers? Like, how can you create those little, terror balls? Yes. Hairy balls that come from space and dangle on top of people with sharp teeth.
Yeah.
That is impossible to adapt and not look silly, even with today's CGI. So I don't know. Cujo is on the not supernatural thing, but what I think made the first one amazing and scary was how real it seemed.
Yeah,
that dog seemed so real.
Yes,
and I just have a feeling it's going to be CGI, and that's just going to take me out of that movie. That's my piece with that.
Well, I definitely think it's going to be CGI. I feel like they should have like a real dog too.
I think they will.
Yeah,
they used a real cat in Pet Sematary in the reboot. Right. So to not use a real dog, you are going to get backlash. Very, very bad. It's going to look like the Lion King.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's real life.
It's live action. They're all CGI. Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with both of you. I feel like that Netflix having it with the budget that they have, I feel like we will get at least a good cast along with decent CGI as well too. Let's just hope that they just I don't want to say stick to the script, but you know what I mean? Don't try to change too much and be different. In this kind of reboot, it's almost like bring it up to times, up to date. You know what I mean? And then just don't really do much different, because the first movie was decent. You know what I mean? It was good. So don't stray away too much from that. Get a phenomenal cast and, fucking just hit a home run that goes just right over the fence. You don't need to hit a bomb 600 feet, 500 feet. Just a home run that goes right over the fence and you get one run. You know what I mean? don't try to do too much. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just throw your big dick energy around with Netflix and all your money. Get everybody, and just make it a good one. Just make it entertaining. That's all. That's all I say.
Perfectly summarized.
Yeah, I
really.
think that's fair.
You know?
Mhm.
All right. Well, that was good current events, guys. I like that. Next week, you guys pick a topic. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Will do, sir.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, yeah. Cheers to Netflix. Cheers to Cujo, and Stephen King. And now it's time, everyone, to talk about our main the main topic of our class today. And of course, we're talking about something that we alluded to in our first episode. And it's a movie actually I was talking about, and I'm talking about Longlegs. That is right, Longlegs. And it's was directed by Oz Perkins. It came out in July 12th, 2024. It got an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's certified fresh. 6.5 on IMDb and 77 on a Metacritic, which is kind of really new. I never really shouted out Metacritic, but shout out to you guys. All right. It made about $126.9 million. And it is starring Nicolas Cage as Longlegs. We got Maika Monroe as Lee Harker, and we have Blair Underwood
Hell yeah.
as William Carter. All right. I gotta say, I said some stuff last episode about this movie, how I royally enjoyed it. I enjoyed how it was shot. I enjoyed how it was a pleasant surprise of a slow burn and as a crime drama thriller, along with some nice, beautiful kills. So I'm gonna open it up to the class. So I wanna talk about your initial reaction of the movie. And yeah, we'll start off with Mr. Oh So Smooth, who's I mean, you said last week you did see this movie, so this is kind of like your second go around it. So
Correct.
how do you feel about this? What is your initial feelings on it, seeing it again?
Well, excitement because again, I did enjoy the film. Okay, and I last week I said the same thing. I did enjoy the movie. I did not enjoy the ending. I hated the twist because to me you had that whole crime drama horror thriller like Silence of the Lambs, and again, big fan Silence of the Lambs, and they even said this is the new Silence of the Lambs. So when I first watched it, you get that vibe right from the get-go. Like you're like, yup, this is exactly what we're looking for. And throughout the entire film, this is exactly what they were hitting. Okay.
Yeah.
Bomb, 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 just hitting every stride. And it worked perfectly because it gave that vibe of Silence of. We haven't seen anything like Silence of the Lambs except Seven. And this also has a Seven vibe to it as well.
Definitely.
So you blend them together. You can really make something great right now. And they did. And until the end. When they give this little twist away, and we'll get there, but I didn't like it. And for the second time watching it, I tried to watch it with different eyes, thinking, okay, well, maybe I already know what's going to happen. So let me try to look at it differently as I'm watching it and see if I can accept that ending. I still can't accept the ending. Like, I'm like, no, like you didn't have to go that route. You had something. You didn't have to finish it that way. And because it became, I guess we could say, because we're going to talk about it anyway, because it became more paranormal instead of cult action.
Yes.
I feel that was the ball drop, and
It became Devil's Reign instead of Charles Manson.
Yeah.
It should have stayed.
Yeah.
It should have stayed Charles Manson.
it should have because it was perfect. It hit where it needed to go, and then they just decided that the devil was involved.
Yeah.
But you can do shit like that without actually having the devil there. Like Darth Maul shows up in the movie again, and there's Darth Maul, and he has a little hoodie. He has the fucking that black fucking shit on, and his eyes glow, and you're like, why? Why do we got to do this? Okay, why is the black smoke coming here? Like, you didn't have to go all that route. I understand. I think in the writing room, they probably came up because Eddie actually reminded me of this. I didn't know until he said it, but Oz Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins from fucking Psycho.
Wow.
That's huge. I didn't even
Yeah,
think
yeah,
about that. I was like,
I
oh, when
didn't-
he said it,
I
I was
didn't
like,
think about that,
holy
yeah.
shit, that's fucking awesome. So you got a very intelligent guy here. He's proven that he knows what he can shoot a fucking movie. Holy fucking
He's a great
movie.
director.
Holy
He's not a great
shit,
writer,
that's
but
such a
he's a great
beautiful fucking shot movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel they were in the writing room and they were bump up, I'm hitting all their spots. And they were like, well, we don't want it to be just another crime drama or another cult film. So what should we do? And somebody's like, let's actually add the devil to it. And he went, that's a great idea. And trance and brainwashing and shit. You don't have to do that though. You can do it metaphorically. You can do it
Exactly.
better than that. And this movie would have nailed it. Nailed it. I'd have put it right. I mean, it's not better than Silence and it's not better than Seven, but it would have definitely been number 3. And I'd have talked that movie up for forever. I'll still talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. Nicolas Cage was fucking hilarious. So, but again, I was excited to watch it, but I wanted to watch it with different eyes. And I still came up to the same result of the ending fell flat.
So if you had to put a ranking on it from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best movie ever, what is your ranking?
Ooh.
As your second time talking about it. I mean, if you don't want to give me an answer now, I'll revisit it at the end. But yeah.
I would say that's a fair 6.5. Going close to 7. Because it is good. It's just that ending falls flat. So if it stayed where it probably should have stayed, a solid 9. Solid 9.
Yeah,
but I
solid.
think because the ending, 7. I'll give it a 7. It deserves it.
Okay. Not better than 7, but he's giving it a 7. I love that.
Very nice. I like how
love
you did that.
Yeah. All right, wait, Mr. Eddie. This is your first time watching it, and you felt really excited after kind of hinting it last week. And you were excited to go in there and watch it. Initial reaction, sir, and I guess give it a rating too.
Hey, so I'm just going to preface it, and I'm actually going to say something that Tommy kind of mentioned last week. I approach movies the way they approach me, right? And I'm just prefacing that because how I'm going to talk about this movie, I'm just going to say it off the bat. I really didn't love this movie. I liked it, but I was sometimes teetering on hating it, loathing it, and sometimes going like, this is amazing. And I'll talk about why in a moment. It's just to preface, as a movie shows itself to me, that's how I take it. Like, for example, and actually Tommy used a great example as well. I'm going to use one of mine, like G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, Gods of Egypt. Bonkers, crazy movies, technically awful movies, but they approach you in, hey, I'm fun, I'm silly. And you go like, hey, I'm going to approach you in this fun, silly way. When a film approaches you in a serious way, you want to take it seriously. And when I get serious, I get serious. Like the books behind me can tell, like I can get pretty serious and pretty academic and whatnot. So basically, this movie to me felt like Neil deGrasse Tyson showing up to me, and I went, "Oh my God, this is Neil deGrasse Tyson," and then asking me which one of the Three Stooges would fart the loudest. and I was flabbergasted by this movie. It blew my mind because this movie is presenting itself seriously, but not at the beginning. The beginning of the movie presents itself as this campy, kind of dark, weird movie. Then it transitions into this serious Silence of the Lambs movie. Then it veers into, again, that creepy movie that's kind of fun with Nicolas Cage. Every time Nicolas Cage is on the screen, it's a fun movie. I want to have fun in that movie. Like I want to go on that Charles Manson rock and roll, like worship the devil, hail Satan, sort of thing. I want to be in that ride. But I also want to be in this other movie that's trying to figure out what the satanic cult is doing. And I don't think it meshed well. These two movies do not go together. These were two separate good movies that somehow found themselves in a crossroad and could not blend well. So we got a strange little hybrid here. So having said that, I would give it a 6, and only because I love the performances,
Yeah.
particularly Underwood and Maika Monroe.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage is the man, and he's amazing in this movie, but he's in a different movie that's not this movie.
Yes, that's very
Yeah,
true.
yeah, I hear. I get it. Yeah.
And the cinematography, amazing.
Oh, beautiful.
So that's
yeah.
why I give it a 6.
Yeah, that's actually really fair.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
like that you mentioned like the performances, especially Maika Monroe. She nailed it. She
Mhm.
did. She was fantastic. Blair Underwood pretty much plays Blair Underwood,
Yeah.
but it really, really holds on what Lee Harker can do, and
Mhm.
her character does the business. So
Yes.
yeah, I
What
agree.
I love
Performance
about
is great.
Monroe the best, right, is the fact that like I love this when actors can act without saying much. Her mannerisms and her facial expressions, they tell a story better than any kind of dialogue that she can come out of her mouth, right? Like those looks that she gives when she's spooked or when she's serious or when she's about to crack a case. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know they dabbled in the whole like premonitions things with her and everything else, and we see why later on she can tell where this person is because she's connected, right? But like even just figuring those things out, she was very like, because like if you hear her talk and everything, she's very dry and she's very just like straightforward, so there's not really much kicks in there. It's just literally her mannerisms, the way she's presented on the screen, and she's definitely a great physical actress, you know what I mean, which I love, and that's why you said she's phenomenal in it because of those things, you know. Yeah, I think she did an amazing job. And Nick Cage, as great as it is, and he is the antagonist in being the long legs, he's only in the movie like probably 10 minutes collectively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every time he's on screen, whether you felt like it was a different movie or not, it was like at times you're like, is that Nick Cage? And he starts talking, you're like, it is Nick Cage. But it was a delight.
Peekaboo.
Yeah, that was good.
Peekaboo.
Mommy.
Oh, that scene. I mean, after seeing it the first time when he did it, I paused and laughed. And then now watching it again when it was coming, because, you know, he's at the grocery store. And then when he leaves, that's when the scene happens. And he's in the car, and it had to be fucking improvised. That just sounds like a Nick Cage improvised moment, because he's just like holding the thing and he goes, Bobby, Daddy, save me. And then, well, what? What the fuck just happened? Like, he just lost it.
Like, what is that?
And they
You know what-
probably, when Osgood Perkins probably was shooting, he's like, okay, listen, I just need you to drive. You're going to be driving, okay? And just stay forward and just do your thing. You know, be Nick Cage. And he probably went, oh, okay. He's going to take the face off and just fucking went for it. And it was hilarious.
It was a mix of the face off and the Gone in 60 Seconds when he's listening to the song and he goes like this with his hands. Well, he puts his hands up and he's like, let's ride. You know what I mean? Like it was a mix between both of those.
Oh,
You know
so
what I mean?
great.
I'm pretty sure Oz was just like, yeah, man, just be kind of like in your head and kind of like it'll just you get into it like it just like fucking pisses you off the fact that she's like that creepy guy is there. You know, and
There are
he's just,
there,
"All right,
there, there are now two movies. I don't know if there's another one where Nicolas Cage basically ends the movie saying "Hail Satan." The other one being Renfield. We need a third
Renfield.
one. Do we need a third one of just Nicolas Cage
complete the
ending a
Nick-
movie with
Hail
"Hail
Satan.
Satan"?
Well, no, that's when the Satan's gates are going to open up and he's going to return to Earth. We can't do that.
I mean, it's fine if it's like the same from this movie. It's totally okay. You
Yeah,
can beat
right?
him with a shotgun, so you're fine.
Also,
Yeah, apparently.
right? Shit, or he could kill himself. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I feel like it was also unnecessary at the end when they just show him again and he's like, "Hail Satan!" Like I feel like that's
And
what
then
you
he
were
blows a
saying that
kiss.
it was- yeah, that's what I
Hail
feel like you were saying
Satan.
that like they were doing too much, right? Like they were like they didn't have that identity and they were like we have to just like kind of like reiterate the fact that it's about Satan, you know.
I think
but
it was
yeah,
more of just that was another take. I just think that
Yeah,
was
I
a
think that
take,
was.
and they were like, "That was really good. Put it at the end of the movie."
it's like,
I
you know
mean, to
what?
be
We
fair,
need
I
to
think
see Nick Cage again. Put it on.
yeah, it's fair. But I also think because remember that they stopped the video that they played for her, like when he's like, because at first they're interviewing him and they're showing her they're showing Lee Harker the recording of the interview they're doing to her. I think it's from that interview, the last bit of that interview.
Yep.
technically the last part of the video that she should have seen, probably.
Probably, yeah. That would make sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot
Happy birthday.
Happy
Someone's birthday's
birthday.
coming
His
up.
birthday's coming. Oh, when she walks in, he goes, "Oh, the birthday girl!" Like, wow, like, dude, you're killing it. Like, I'd be
Yeah.
behind the camera, being like, "You're killing it right now.
Yeah, like someone's like, "This is gold. This is gold.
This is
You know?
fucking great."
Yeah, I mean, he did an amazing job, which is the reason why I feel like with the limited time that he has on screen, it's like he fucking nails every single time. Which is why at the end they were like, "Just put the shot in, fuck it."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need one more scene with Nick Cage. I know he died 60 minutes in, but we gotta bring him back, you know? Like, and yeah, and then they gave us that, you know. Yeah, I mean, anybody else? I mean, Blair Underwood, you said he was just Blair Underwood, but like I feel like he was also like, all right, he's her boss, he's like the big detective or whatever. And then like just that scene when like with his wife towards the climax of the movie, and he's just like in a catatonic state kind of thing. And he's like, you know what you have to do? Go to the kitchen. Like, you know? And he's just kind of like
Go to the
he's
kitchen.
scared. And he's like really scared and like devastated and like just in awe, but he still just goes. And I mean, like he winds up like killing his fucking wife.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And you hear it you hear it, you don't see it, you know, and he comes back all bloody, you know what I mean? And then like he ultimately gets a two to the head or two to the chest or whatever. He gets lit up with lead. But like just him being like, all right, he plays a cop in a lot of things, right? But like that ending scene, I feel like was something I've never seen from him like that. He's a great actor, but
He
like
is.
I've never seen that like him being so like
Raw.
internally broken and raw that like and then goes and fucking murders somebody. You know what I
I
mean? Like his wife.
I have a problem with not the performance. I have a problem with why they started killing people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And besides the supernatural part that makes no sense, horror is about choice. They had no choice. Nobody in this movie had a choice. You could argue that
Yeah.
Ruth, Lee's mother, had a choice, but even her, like, it's like, okay, help me or everybody dies. That's not a choice.
Right.
That's not a real choice. And everybody in this, like, it would be more haunting if you have a choice to either do the right thing or not do the right thing and go crazy. That's scarier.
Yes.
But a doll shows up into your house, which, by the way, just say no to the doll, fine, and then you problem
good.
solved.
I'm all right.
I'm
Thank
good.
you. From the church? I
doll's
don't go to
kinda
church.
just like-
Thank you.
Like, first of all, how do you know how my daughter looks? Right?
Yeah, how'd you
So,
nail
like-
that?
Like,
Yeah.
how'd you do that? I didn't even send a picture or anything. Like, this is
It's-
fucking nuts.
It's so just say no to the doll, and then the problem in the movie's done. That's why it's not scary for me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
to me, what's scary is like, imagine, just, this is off the top of my head, because I was explaining this to my wife. I was explaining this movie to my wife, and here's what she said before I gave away this twist. She was like, "Ooh, and does he like do some like jigsaw thing where he starts manipulating them into killing the people?" And I was like, if they were smart, they would have done that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they decided to give them a magic Google doll that would make them do crazy things. This is not good writing. Like, Oz Perkins is a phenomenal director. That
Yes.
movie, the creep factor of this movie is all about his directing.
Yes.
That's all that, honestly, the performances and his directing is what creeps you out, not the story. And that's why it doesn't stay with you as it should,
Mhm.
because you're not going like, damn, what would I do if I was in you know,
That situation.
Underwood in that situation? Like,
Nothing.
Lee, you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
There's nothing. Even Lee Harker has no choice. Like, what is she doing? She's doing her job. She had no choice about being good or evil.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, Mom has a weak Darth Vader moment where she goes like, "Come join me. I'm joined the project, and together we will serve the
Satan.
devil, Satan. And oh, come on, and it's so ham-fisted. You go, of course she's going to deny her. It's not a legit choice. So I really didn't think it worked. I really
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the plot now, like I feel like there's a lot of holes in it. Like there's so much that was great, and like I mean, Eddie, you nailed it in your brief like synopsis. It's just like it felt like two movies in a way, right? It felt like this one movie you have this like crime drama about this like cult leader maybe that or like just forces people to kill their family, like kind of shit, and you could kind of dabble on that a little bit more. And then you got this possessed Google doll that's making them do it, and that's a completely other different movie. You know what I mean? I thought the doll was unnecessary. I thought this metal or whatever thing that was calling them was
The
unnecessary.
brain.
Yeah, like the brain or whatever else like that. And they showed you how to fucking kill it halfway through the movie.
They did.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like, how do you make it stop? You blow the fucking brains out. Oh, that simple? Yes.
which which just gets to my biggest pet peeve in the movie like this. Like this is my biggest pet peeve in any movie that deals with vampires, devils, or anything like that. Is when they go like, "Well, we can't get preachy. We can't talk about religion." You're already pulling from the religion. You're
You're
saying it's
pulling.
Yeah.
Satan. What?
Right.
Who's gonna beat him? Odin? Then it's not Satan.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
You got the power of Christ has to compel this bitch. Okay, so
He's right.
I'll give you an example.
You're right.
I'm going to give you an example, just so because people might go like, he's just reaching at straws. No, I'm going to use an example, right? So imagine that you're writing a Superman story, and then Superman is walking down, and Lex Luthor shows him kryptonite, and he just takes the kryptonite from Lex Luthor's hand and yeets it to the sun.
Yeah.
You just lost your Superman movie. You just disrespected the whole fucking lore of the movie.
Right.
True.
If you're talking about demons, like those, all of those houses had crosses in them.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Like, what are you saying? That the devil's stronger than God? Okay, fine. You can make that argument, but like, what lore are you pulling from? And what's the
Right.
hope of humanity? A shotgun?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pet peeve. Like,
No, I mean I get it, man, and that's a
It's
serious pet peeve
understandable.
in a way too, because like we always talk about this here, right? Movies got a movie, and if you're gonna do something, you got to do it the right way and get what the facts right, and have been for centuries, right? In movies and in spiritual movies of The Conjuring and every other movie with spirits in it, right? You can't have spirits, devils, and demons without God and everything else, right? And if you're gonna mismatch it up and you're gonna try to tell something different, you have to explain a little bit more. You can't just be like, just cuz, and bring a doll in here, and that's supposed to be a powerful entity, and we can't kill it, but oh, we can with physical means. Like it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for that, I feel like it lost so much. It lost so much because it had me gripped. It had me in, right? And even to the point, and we've been talking about it and alluding to it a little bit, the way it was directed, the way it was shot. The cinematography in this movie is top notch. And the cinematographer, his name is Andres Archie Tahino, right? So he's a Latino, but
yeah,
yeah.
I know.
There you
No,
go.
it's Andres Arochi Tinajero.
Oh, Tinajero. There we go. I said it all right. You know I can't read. Come on, guys. But yeah, no, he shot it perfectly. I love the wide shots, and we alluded to this in the last episode, but I love the wide shots that kind of take you into the whole scene, like scenery and the setting, right? A lot of horror movies are like, deeply in the dark and stuff, and we do get those dark moments, right? But we get a lot of the outside gloominess, the whiteness. So when you whitewash and you get red splatters in it, because if you see that scene that they kept flashing back to with her as a kid, right? She's in a red coat with all of white, and it's beautiful the way it's shot that way, and it's not on purpose. It's not by accident. It's on purpose. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and it's just beautiful the way they do it, and it's great because they have stuff hidden. And this is one thing that I've said many times on this episode, on this show. I love when things are hidden in plain sight, and you have to kind of like be like, "Oh shit, did I just see that?" And in this movie, they have a lot of that.
Yes, they do.
All right. And that's some of the good, right? That I feel like that in itself keeps you locked in there. It keeps you invested and keep watching, right? That and acting alone. But like, yes, the sceneries and the cinematography plays a big, big part in this movie. You know what I mean? To the point where it's just like, did I just see that? Let me rewind it right now. And thank God I can rewind it. Because like before, I was just like, am I just fucking seeing things?
Yep.
But like, you do see it. You do see things. You see the damn devil.
You do. You do see the devil.
The whole entire movie, I've counted, and you see him 10 times
That's
in
wild.
this movie.
That's wild.
10 times. You know what I mean? And you just see a figure with these horns, and usually the devil and everything else is depicted by a goat. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And you see the devil horns. You see the goat horns, and it's in the back, very faintly. You see it when they're closing the door. When Blair Underwood's closing the door to the house, you see the devil horns in the reflection of the door, and that shit is ridiculous.
It's creepy as hell. It's
10 times. 10 times you see that.
It's very smart. Like, that's what I love about the movie of how it's shot and these little Easter eggs that they're kind of sticking in there. It keeps you interested in a sense that if you watch it again, you want to find more. How have they done? And when you watch the movie, see what they did was, like Mr. Malave, you said it's widescreen, right? But it's tight. It's weird. It's a tight widescreen because
there's levels. There's highs, lows, and mediums. You see it a lot.
You do, and I love the fact that they also what I mean by tightness is it's a wide screen, but the camera's focused in the center. It's focused on the character.
Yes.
When Lee's walking, it's right behind her. Like, there's the one scene where when she's outside of her house that she's directly pointing the gun at the camera. So we're in tight here. We're looking, but the greatness of this and great directing of this is that while the eyes of the viewer are looking at Lee, there's something over there in the left corner. Yes. Because you're not looking that way. And it's kind of how The Invisible Man was done.
Yes.
The 2020 version. They did it. It was done so well because like she's sitting there in the kitchen cooking and the whole entire time he's standing right there. And when she leaves the kitchen, the camera doesn't move. And that's what's awesome because it's like, why is the camera not following her? Because something's right there. I can't see it because he's Invisible Man. But this is why that movie, it shot so beautifully. And I want to go back to even like what Big Money was saying with Blair Underwood and whatnot, and how I mention it all the time. Realism in horror movies. Realism in horror movies play a huge factor because that's where the deemness of scary comes into play. This movie has realism pretty much throughout the whole entire movie. It's fucking realism. And then it took a left turn. And once it took the left, that's probably one reason why it threw me out, because I was like, and you fucking dropped the ball here, because there's no reason for that. If you're going to stick to the devil and you're going to stick to paranormal shit and you're going to stick to brainwashing and all that stuff, that you can, first off, one, paranormal, I'm sure I've never personally dealt with it, but I'm sure it's out there and all that whatnot. But you can still use brainwashing because cults brainwash people.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're just, people would just accept what they're being told. Charles Manson, all this other fucking shit. Midsummer is another perfect example of a good cult movie because they're just fucking, they find those weak people, weak-minded individuals, and they fucking drag them right in. So you could have done that. You could have had that twist.
Still have the mark of, like, let's say Longlegs was the only person that was like kind of whatever, hail Satan, and he believes in all that and he's there or whatever else. What have you. You could still have him brainwash a bunch of people or whatever, and then still have him be the spiritual entity. And he was like, once he kills himself or whatever, like maybe it got unleashed or some shit. Like there's other ways to do it.
I still feel you're going in the same direction though. Like you're still getting this paranormal shit.
I'm just trying to make it work because I've counted it. It's 10 times that we see this damn devil in this movie. And
he could still be, but that's fine. He can be. That's metaphorical. That's fine.
That's a metaphor.
That's metaphor.
We're seeing that's for a reason.
Well,
it's a shadow.
But at the same time, one of the beautiful things about watching the movie again is that you start realizing, oh no, it wasn't just the cult thing, it was real, but only in watchback will you actually get to realize that.
Hmm.
And that just works better for the realism of the movie, because um, if you leave it vague of whether or not it's actually real or in somebody's head, it just creates this whole another level of discussion. Because that's another thing. That's another thing. If whenever you get a movie that has an ambiguous ending, you get people talking about it. There's nothing ambiguous about this movie. What people can say, like, well, what did she point? Well, she was out of bullets. It's not like she
Yeah,
made a
she pulled the trigger. You even hear
Yeah.
she pulled it like 5 times. She just had no bullets.
so, and that's it. Like there is no mystery about it. People are going like, is she now part of the cycle? No, she wasn't.
No, because
If she was,
they
she
blew
would.
the doll's head off.
Right.
Yeah, she killed everybody that needed to be killed, and she was about to blow up the doll, and
Right.
she walked
And
away from the
and
doll.
it was her mom the whole time orchestrating these dolls to these people. Like
Yes, her mom was the helper.
the person from church that brought the doll.
And you saw that from a mile away.
Yeah.
5 miles away.
You know, you
Unfortunately.
seen that coming. You knew that's where it was going. I got to be honest with you. They probably should have casted Julianne Moore in that role. She would have nailed it. She
Yeah.
would have fucking nailed it right
She's
there.
A great crier.
She's a
Like-
great crier. Good mom too.
Good mom. She's a good mom.
And I don't know, Mr. Malave, how you were mentioning with Monroe and how Lee Harker is as a character. When they shoot the ball, when the mother shoots with the shotgun, and she even says, "Now you're free." You know, now he's dead. Now you're free. Shoots the doll, and then the black smoke comes out of her head too.
Yep.
Which there's that the link. There's the link right there. So the entire movie, she was not brainwashed, but she was linked in a sense of like a trance. That's why her and I give her so much credit, because that's why like her character is very dull, very like she's like, "Will you come to my birthday party?" I'll be there. Like it was like nothing. Like it's just very dry, very dull.
Yeah.
This is why he's able to, know where to attack next and know to go to Blair Underwood's character in general, because they were linked. But the second that ball gets shot and the black smoke, I hate it, but the black smoke comes out of her fucking head. It's like fucking Lost. Where's the black smoke? Comes out of the head. She's a completely different person.
Yes.
When she's going to go actually stop her mom, she has personality again. Mom, what are you doing? And then, she realizes she can't stop it. There's nothing she could do. That's why she's crying, because she's like, I can't stop this. The most she can do is shoot them all. Because even if she shoots the mom or shoots the doll, it's done. The deal is done. The Blair Underwood part, which again, I don't like that, because like Eddie, like how you said, it, like he didn't want to do it, but I kind of gotta go do this. So I like the one line that's really well is when the wife gets up and she goes, "Okay, we're going to go in the kitchen and I'll be right back." And his next line is, "Well, I'll be right back. You'll still be in the kitchen." And that's when I'm like, that was a pretty good, well-placed line.
Yeah, that was good.
That's a good play. And you can see like he's about to cry. He doesn't want to do it.
No, yeah.
But that's so dumb. Like, to me, that's the route with the brainwashing thing. Well, if he was brainwashed, then he would just do it, and it wouldn't even
He would
fucking
be happy to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Which
do
is
it.
scarier.
Yes,
Right.
that's even scarier.
Because
But he was
even-
more
even
just.
the wife knew exactly. What
Well,
was
that's
gonna
why she grabs her throat, because
Right.
she got choked up because she realized what was going down. She was just
Right.
like,
But they showed other flashbacks with the other family when the guy came in with the axe, and even the mom when she went to that first person again, beautifully shot.
Yep.
Because it was the person, like she was staring at the doll as we realized, but when we went back to the scene, but like then she even realized that we knew it was gonna happen, and she got wrecked right in the fucking back.
She did.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
she did.
they
She got
knew
wrecked.
exactly what was happening, but it's almost like, but why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Try not to. Where's obviously it's just something's wrong with this fucking doll, but you're getting brainwashed and you're letting the devil do it. Like the devil made me do it. So it's just like
that's
fuck,
what it
bro.
is.
Like, I don't know.
That's all that is. The devil made me do
It's
it.
all that it is. Yeah. It's all
So
that it is.
see, for me, it's
You
more.
can't go half in and half out. I'm sorry.
There you
can't
go.
half
Correct.
in
That's
and half out.
exactly. That's exactly it. Like it's okay if you say the devil made me do it if you're pursuing the devil in the whole movie, and you know, let's say he's consulting Nicolas Cage, and Blair Underwood is consulting Nicolas Cage, and he goes like, no, but he's like this wise man, and he can inform me of things, and somebody's telling him you should not go to him. Like, that's a creepy dude. Like, no, he has the answers, man. I think he has the answers. That's more plausible than a magic doll, a magic Google doll.
Agreed.
You,
Agreed.
Yeah,
They could have had
And-
him interrogate him, and then based on the things
You know-
Nicolas Cage was telling him, could have made him start to think twice and all this shit. Because it looked like he had a happy marriage, but because Nicolas Cage is one with Satan in a kind of sense, he gets a different vibe from it, and he kind of started to poke at it a little bit, and it starts to get him angrier. We never seen Blair Underwood angry, except the one moment when he was already brainwashed. But if he had just a little bit of anger to him, that would have been more plausible with him fucking losing his shit. Like, all it needed, just like I said, a cult, you just need a flick of a fucking light, and there it is. They're fucking yours for the taking.
Boom.
So if Blair Underwood just had a little bit of anger and a little bit of something against his wife or some shit, that
Like,
could have
it
fucking
was like
did
a-
it.
doesn't
It could've
obey you.
Yeah.
She doesn't follow what you're doing, and you're so smart and dedicated all your time to doing good
It
for
could
your
be. It could have
family.
been one little disagreement with the birthday party or something that it's on the phone.
When he showed up
and he was
home.
like, oh, and then hangs up.
Yeah.
When he
And
came
he's like,
home drunk.
Yeah.
Who's
Came
this?
home
Why? Who's this
Yeah.
woman? Oh, that's my, that's Harker. First off, I'd be like, I'm her boss. I'm drunk. She drove me. That's
drove
if
me.
anything, you should thank her. But it's also 12 midnight, like all this type of shit. And he can make that joke to the daughter that he mentions, like, what are you still doing up? And she could be like, well, we're waiting for you. Where the hell have you been? I mean, he's an FBI agent, so the guy obviously works fucking late. He's working on a big case, but that can get him just kind of agitated.
Yeah.
And then Longlegs could just poke at it. Poke,
That's all
poke,
he
poke,
needed.
poke, boom,
A little
snap.
poke.
It's very easy. Well, I'm not going to say it's very easy, but anybody can explode. You just need that one fucking button pushed. We can get angry, but we don't explode. It's just a button's got to get pushed. And that could be Longlegs' thing. He knows what to touch. He knows what to hit. He's weird. He's creepy, but he says the right things. And Charles Manson, weird, creepy, but he says the right things to get a whole shit ton of people to go to someone's house and fucking murder them.
Yeah.
In his honor. Like, what?
Yeah.
No,
it's
it works.
Crazy.
And you could mention that, and you can say that, okay, the film, because I know that somebody's going to listen to this and just say like, well, the film is a metaphor for trauma. Like, fine, but here's the thing: the scary thing about trauma is that your parents made a choice in traumatizing you in some way or another, and sometimes they don't realize that they're traumatizing you with their choices, but it's still a choice. The fear, the horror comes from, would you make that choice in the same given scenario? Like, it's like saying, would you die if a bullet hits you? I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, right.
I can't choose that.
Depends where it hits.
It depends where it hits. Like, what would happen if a satanic doll came to your house? Apparently nothing, because it will possess me.
Right. As soon as it comes in my house. Like, you get me? Like, it's ridiculous. I feel like, and also, I kind of feel like I know what this movie was trying to do. And it was trying to kind of like copycat, which they shouldn't have, because I feel like it's the weakest one of the whole anthology. But I feel like they were kind of like doing The Devil Made Me Do It Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they try to have the law and like the real like law and like detective work going on while Satanic thing was going on. But the reason why it worked with The Conjuring, not very well, but the reason why
didn't work.
still worked, it worked better than Longlegs because they already established the Warrens as the spiritual advisors or entity motherfuckers that they were. That way they were playing with both the law, detective works, and the spiritual stuff because they've already established that the Warrens deal with spiritual things. right? That's the only reason why it worked in that sense. But they should have known that this movie wasn't going to work that way because you don't have an established characters with the spiritual entities. And even if you did, that Conjuring movie didn't work. You know what I mean?
And you're right. And I'm gonna tell you why it didn't work. Witchcraft. That's where they fucked up. The Conjuring is based with paranormal. The whole stories, even if they're real or if they're fake, is all paranormal shit. Amityville Horror, they were involved in that shit. Right. The reason that the third Conjuring movie did, because they had the story, that's a real fucking story. That really fucking happened. So you were gonna do pretty much the exorcism of Emily Rose with the Conjuring. Great. Exorcism of Emily Rose is great. So you could do a court drama, a crime horror thriller with The Conjuring. Then they went witchcraft. And that's where it fucked up because you were like, nope, you lost me. Where the fuck are the witches coming from?
They ditched the lore. They ditched the lore.
Ditched the lore. They ditched the lore in this movie. They ditched the lore. Stick to what works. Cults work.
Right.
And they're a trendy topic.
And a lot of movies.
They're trending hard. They're trending very, very much right
now. Documentaries, like there's a shit ton out there.
Well, you know why? Because there's a lot of stuff happening politically, which we are not a political show, so we're not going to get there.
Which is true. And whatever side of the fence you fall on, it is what, it's political. Go whatever way you want. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't personally give a shit. But when it comes to like horror, though, you need to... If it's going to be a cult movie, it's going to be a cult movie. Don't start playing too much. If we go back to Midsommar, I know a lot of people fucking don't like that movie. Well, I personally do. It's a really good artistic fucking cult movie. And that's how cults work. They go and they pry on the weak-minded, somebody that like Florence Pugh's character who's depressed and whatnot. And that's why that scene when she's crying and they all gather around, they cry with her. That's a fucking great scene because that is the moment she's looking around like, what the fuck is happening? She's feeling at home. That's what they do. They make you feel at home. And then we're going to kill your boyfriend now. And she does nothing. Nada. Doesn't give a shit because they got her. That smile at the end, gotcha, bitch, kind of shit. And again, this movie, you had cult. It worked. Nicolas Cage looks good as the cult leader. He kills himself. Cool. Sacrificing for Satan. All right. Works perfectly. You can use the metaphors like Mista Malave, like you said, like the devil over here, the horns over here, all that shit. That's great. The ball thing, the black smoke from fucking Lost. Nope. Not going to work.
Yeah. I feel like they phoned the rest of it in. Like there was too much. There was too much. They try to be too much.
They tried to be different. That was the problem.
We kind of need some kind of like spiritual entity stuff to kind of tie everything together because we did just mention Satan, and it's just like, no, you didn't. Sometimes less is more. You didn't need the doll. You didn't need this fucking orb. You didn't need.
You push yourself in a corner.
You wanted to be. They wanted to be different. We on this show have said that before. If you're gonna do something, at least be different. But there's sometimes you shouldn't be different. And Conjuring 3, don't be different. Stick to what works. And in this movie, you had 2 fucking movies that you can base on: Silence of the Lambs and Seven. Okay, you can even go with the fucking Zodiac Killer if you want. You can play with all these. You can go with all of those.
All of them.
You didn't have to be different. I get everybody. You want to be different. If I'm different, then people are going to talk about it more. Of course, they're going to talk about this movie. Of course, Mr. Malave, you said it. It's certified fresh. It's well deserved to be certified fresh.
Yes,
but it would have been better. It would have been higher. And you would have, like I said, we instead of talking about the ending and how we don't really like the twist and we don't really like this, we would have been talking about, hey, which one's better, Seven or Longlegs? Because it's not Silence, we know that, but Seven or Longlegs, which one is a better movie? And we could have had a good discussion about that.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
I definitely agree. Whatever they chose to do, they did too much. Sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot when you're like, this is gold, and you want to put more, you want to put more, you want to put more, you want to be a little different, and then you drop the ball. Less is more sometimes, people. That's all I'm going to say. Not saying that this movie wasn't good, because it was, all right? It had me. I was good. There were certain times where I'm just like, this is fucking ridiculous, right? But then there's times where I'm just like, wow, this is like kind of like, they got me. You know what I mean? And then this ending kind of just makes you flat on your face, and you're like, well, I kind of wanted more or something different, but like it's unfortunately that we don't get it, and that's why it's not a perfect movie, and I feel like the ratings that you two have given it, I think it's warranted. I would go a little bit more just because of the cinematography, and some of the kills were kind of like, some of them were out of that field, like when the agent got shot right away and you see the blood squirt. That was beautifully shot, and that's why it made me
That
go,
was dope.
ooh. You know
That
what
was
I
good.
mean?
That was good.
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree
because
100%.
you're talking about the over the shoulder thing or the back of them and someone's following them.
Mhm.
They show her and then they go back and the side view is when they see the blood and you're like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
That was his fault, though. Can we be
that
real
was
for
his
1
fault,
second?
this idiot.
In-
As a cop.
Go ahead,
You're-
right? Because let's be real, especially watching it second time. In briefing, they said the guy you're looking for is armed and dangerous. You need to go in as if he is immediately armed. This guy's ringing doorbells going, howdy doos. No. Hey, partner, how about this? If I'm going to ring the fucking doorbell and a dude fucking answers, put a gun to his fucking head.
Yep.
Even if it's not him, put a gun. Well, listen, we're looking for a serial killer. Put a gun to his head, because
Yes.
that's what happens. Hello, sir. Bong. I love that scene, though. Didn't expect it.
so
That's
good.
pure Silence of the Lambs right there. That was great.
Yep. It was fantastic. So moments like that, and then moments when we see another, like all the moments where we see those killings, besides the end when she just blows people's heads off, like those were very well shot and they got me, right? You know what I mean? And that's why I would give it probably like a 7.5, just because of how it's shot, directed, the acting, and those scenes of the actual murders. Like that's why I give it just that little bit more bump. But other than that, like we've discussed it, the twist of the ending was unnecessary. The whole moving back and forth with two different movies, unnecessary, but we got what we got, right? And it was not bad. Did I watch it again? Yes. Did I enjoy it a second time? Not as much, but like I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Do I tell people to watch it? Yes. Go watch it. Why not? So I got a question for you, because we're going towards the end of this breakdown of the movie. Would you tell somebody to watch this again? Obviously, I mean, you and I have seen it, Smooth Effect, like twice.
Mhm.
So we've gave it a second round.
We did.
But would you tell somebody to watch this movie?
I would. Honestly, I would. I would tell them to watch it, and but I think a good second question would be, would I watch it again? I wouldn't watch it again.
You wouldn't give it a second round. Okay.
No, but I would. I definitely think it's a watch it once movie,
Mm,
and
okay.
maybe catch some clips of Nick Cage singing "Mommy, Daddy." A little bit of that.
Yeah. All right. So you wouldn't give it a second round, but you'll tell somebody to go watch it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. All right. Cool. Would you tell Smooth Effect? Would you tell somebody to go watch it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And
All
I
right.
gave it a second round. And
There
I
you
think
go.
I would, even after watching it the first time, it's not a movie that I'm going to be like, ooh, we should watch Longlegs, like that kind of thing. But it's one of those that if you're doing a horror podcast and somebody picks Longlegs, you're like, fuck yeah, we're going to watch Longlegs. So I would definitely give it a second. Will I ever watch it again? Maybe in like a few years. It's definitely not like one of those, like, you go to someone's house, we got to watch Longlegs. Like none of that shit. But 1,000% would give it a second round, and 1,000% would tell somebody, got to check this movie out.
Yeah, definitely. I told my parents, they thought it was boring, so it's not for them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I definitely would tell people to go watch it. So like, yeah, I love that. 2 out of 3 giving it a second round, and yeah, I mean, we all will tell somebody to watch it. So guys, if you haven't seen Longlegs, which we spoiled the fuck out of it, but if you wanna, tell somebody else, go watch it. We say sure. Tell them. And if you want to watch it again, by all means, go watch it again.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's where I saw it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
All
Watch it on
right, guys.
Hulu.
Well, I mean, anybody else has some other closing remarks for Longlegs right now?
No.
Good, because right after this, I feel like we've talked a lot about it, and right now, I kind of feel like we need to talk to somebody about this, because we need to exorcise some demons, and they're spiritual, so we can only count on a spiritual movie therapist.
Therapy, therapy, we need some therapy. Therapy, therapy, we need some therapy. Call Tommy James 877 Move It now with the prescription pad in hand. He's gonna fix your horror plan. Oh yeah. Are you lost in the woods? Or chased by a guy with a hook? What did your best friend say? I'll check it out. Now you're screaming, why'd they go and look? And now you're thinking to yourself, why me? This'll end with PTSD. Calling this number may cause hallucinations, final girl syndrome, and yelling, don't go in there at the screen. Tommy James is not a licensed therapist.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Malave. It's time for a therapy session indeed. And as we know on the Spiritual Movie Therapist, I will choose a character from the movie and I will give them their prescription to help them be a better person or maybe just help them out in this film. So let me go and bring out my pad. As you mentioned in the theme song, indeed, I do have my pad on me. So I obviously chose the patient was Longlegs himself, okay? Nicolas Cage, indeed. So let's go. I have 3 prescriptions for Mr. Cage, Mr. Longlegs, and this is what they are. So the first one is, I'm not saying you're evil, but you kind of got some issues, man. Hey, Longlegs, maybe start by writing down your feelings. Why do you feel the need to tear families apart? Is it because you never had a family photo on the fridge? Or maybe all those little disappointments in life just piled up, like never getting credit for your impressive letter writing skills? I mean, they are pretty good if we be honest with you. Also, consider group therapy, sir. Not with me, just group therapy. But, you know, you got to do the kind where, like, nobody ends up dead. You know, start small. Try a support group where people actually make it to the next meeting. Number 2, too much time on your hands, sir. Look, instead of treating your murder calendar like a full-time job and collecting souls like they're rare Pokemon cards, take a deep breather, sir. Try a library. Yes, a library, the place where they have books and 0 crime scenes. Pick up something like not a satanic ritual guide, sir. Please don't do that. And give your brain a workout that doesn't involve body counts. Who knows? You might kill off some stress instead of, you know, people. And number 2, get a job, Longlegs. Okay, let's be real for a second. Get a damn job. You ever think of switching careers? You're spending way too much time making families vanish. How about something less terrifying? Like, I don't know, an office job? Or really anything that doesn't involve crafting creepy kid dolls. Listen, it's impressive, but it's also super weird, dude. Really damn weird. Okay, but I personally think you could totally dominate in collections. Just scare people into paying their bills. Shit, you can make a doll to hand out overdue notices. But maybe skip the whole Satan vibe doll thing. That's what we call a relapse, sir. So, listen, Longlegs, you're a sick bastard. Obviously, you did not survive in this movie. But if he did indeed survive, this is me talking Nicolas Cage now. Again, go in the car, mommy, daddy, all that shit, good times all day. But indeed, those are my 3 prescriptions for Longlegs himself, and I hope he listens, and I hope to see him on the next session. Thank you, Mr. Malave.
Well, you're more than welcome, movie therapist. Thank you so much for your time, and I really do hope you know Longlegs or people that are like Longlegs, because as we know he's no longer with us, or is he not? I don't know. But we all hope everyone takes your prescriptions. They were well thought out, and
They're very well thought out. It's really good. Like honestly, movie characters should listen to you.
Well, that's why they pay me. I mean, as we know, listen, I'm not a licensed therapist, but I'm a pretty damn good one.
I agree.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank
You know, and so thank you again. But I'm not a pretty good therapist, but I am pretty good at noticing and exploring some glorious gore.
Glorious gore! Glorious, and I won't survive. I won't survive because of glorious gore. And a glorious gore. And I won't survive, I won't survive. Because of
All right, all right. Welcome to Malave's Glorious Gore. This is the Gore Corner, as I like to say, where we discuss all the beautiful kills, the best kills, the not so good kills, and Malave's best kill of the movie. And I gotta tell you, we have some in here that are doozies. We've mentioned some of them in the breakdown, so we won't get too deep into it, right? But right off the bat, we get 15 kills. That's right, 15 kills in this movie. Now, if you want to be technical, we only see about I want to say like 12 to 11 kills, but we have the other 4 that they explain it, and we see some pictures. So I'm putting them on my list. All right. But I gotta be honest with you. There's so many good ones here. And we mentioned the FBI agent getting his head blown off for being an idiot, right? And that was great, right? And we also kind of dabbled with the guy with the axe. But I gotta tell you, seeing the axe drive into somebody's body and just glorious gore just comes squirting all over him, and the mom is just watching him, and then he just comes straight to the camera. She goes straight to the camera, and she just kind of stares at you with a smile. And you're like, wait a minute, am I watching Smile? No, I'm not watching Smile. I'm watching Longlegs. Where is Longlegs? He's not even in here. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. No, you get the dad coming at you, and he just fucking rips into her with the damn axe. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of glorious, and I love every single minute of it. We get an off-scene kill, which was amazing, right? Because we don't see anything. We just hear, and then we see the blood all over Blair Underwood. And you're like, Blair, I thought you were a good guy. What are you doing? And he just gets his head blown the fuck off three or 4 times. She almost emptied the damn clip. Didn't have enough time to kill her mom. And she killed her mom. That's right, people. We have somebody killing moms. It is ridiculous. Her own mom. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I am here for it. They even killed dolls in this fucking movie. This is insane. This is insane how much glorious gore we get in Longlegs. But the most glorious gore is none other than Longlegs himself. And he did it. And you know what? He kills his own self. When he's in that interrogation room and he just starts wailing his head on the desk multiple times, the moments where he keeps looking up and they stay tight on him. There's no edits. They just stay tight right on him. And you see a jaw break. You see a nose break. You see more blood. You see teeth coming out. And you're just like, he's laughing while he's doing it. And you're like, this is some Joker crazy bullshit. And I loved it, and I was here for it. And I got to be honest with you. He killed himself good. He killed himself glorious. And it was gore. And it was gory in all its glory. And for that, it is Malave's best kill in this glorious gore corner. And that's it, guys.
That's fair.
No, that's good. I have to say, I didn't even think about it, but dolls do count as murder victims in this movie.
They technically do.
Victims. They killed 2 of them.
How about the second agent, the Asian one? She got 2 shotguns to the face.
That is
There's
true.
a boom. Like, God damn, that was gory.
That was gory. Like,
That was
I'm
glorious.
talking
It was glorious, though.
glorious gore.
Glorious gore. Yeah, that's really good one. I have to agree. I think
I'm
Nick
telling
Cage
you, do you guys agree that that's the best kill?
Oh yeah, 100%.
1,000%.
It's the
I
one
love
that
that.
you're going to remember the most. So
Mhm.
1,000%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's Malave's glorious gore, guys. That's it. You know, we're reaching the end here, and we get excited for gore. We got some prescriptions, and we got to go to the pharmacy soon. But before then, we need somebody to kind of give us some guidance, right? We need somebody to kind of tie a bow on this whole thing and give us a nice lesson. So there's only one person that I know that can give us a lessons from a cigarette smoking man.
Mijo, listen close, aquí está la verdad. If your house says get out, don't be living with that, dancing with demons. Pero con ritmo, Eddie drops wisdom with every humor. Lessons from a cigarette smoking man. With a puff and a glance, he's got the master plan. From insidious to it, he'll make you think. Aprende la lección y no mueras tan quick.
Okay, let's light up a cigarette while I give you some wisdom, kid. Horny goat men should not be appearing in your window, door, or porch. This is probably a sign that you need animal control. Call soon. Horny goat men are also bad people. This is not a racist statement, it is simply an observation of facts. Don't trust anyone who works for horny goat men. They probably have bad habits. Dolls work for horny goat men. They also have metal balls for brains. If a nun shows up in your house with a gift from the church, ask yourself, do I go to that church? Have I seen that nun before? Did I enter a contest? Am I even Catholic? If the answer is no to any one of these questions, deny the doll. She probably works for horny goat men. Squatters' rights. Research it. Remember it next time a horny goat man sends his stooge to settle in your house. When done with all your planning and scheming, make sure you bang your head on the table until you die or a musical number begins. Nicolas Cage in Cher makeup, singing with a silly high-pitched voice is not your friend. But if he is a flaming skull with a demonic voice, he is your friend. Unless you are a horny goat man, then it's the opposite. If you're dealing with the forces of evil and darkness, you don't need the power of good and light, just a good shotgun or pistol. If a nasty man arrives to your convenience store, call the cops. If the nasty man comes back again and you don't recognize him, you're an idiot. If your mother is acting kind of crazy and has a door closed that she doesn't let you walk into, she is probably working for a horny goat man, or Cher, or both. Get some help, probably a bullet to her head. Remember, kids, our parents make real sacrifices for us, including pacts with horny goat men and Cher to make our lives better. Honor their sacrifice. If you ever find a horny goat man, ask him the following. Which one of the three stooges farts the loudest? Till next time. Here's looking at you, kid.
Those are all words of wisdom and things that we all should live by. Okay?
No, 100%. I really think so. These are the pellets of wisdom you can take out of this movie to apply to your daily lives. Really.
You're so wise.
Thank you.
So wise.
That was really good.
That was great. That was great.
It said or share.
Or Cher. Yeah, as we can all agree, Cher is kind of creepy sometimes.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage in Cher makeup is even creepier.
Yeah.
I think that's a bad Halloween choice, everyone. But that's it. Lessons. You better listen, you people. You better listen. You better take your prescriptions. And if you like gore, take a look at these, all right? Because they're really good. Really good. But that's it, guys. We are approaching the end of class. The bell is about to ring soon. So I just want to say thank you all for this discussion. We've learned a lot. We've laughed, we cried, we kind of cringed, and yeah, we got to the end of Longlegs. So I just want to say thank you to all the listeners. And if you like what you're hearing, please remember to like, subscribe, and if you want to be a part of the conversation, please enroll in class to have fun with us and kind of learn a little bit too. So ladies, gentlemen, not ladies, because there's no ladies here. Sabrina, we miss you. Hopefully you're not dead or in a doll somewhere. I want you guys to say bye. So whoever wants to go first, say bye.
I'll go first. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Money Eddie here, Grand Wizard of Horror. I am very happy to have given you some wisdom. I'm really happy to talk Longlegs with you guys, and hail Satan!
With the kiss and everything. I love that.
That was great. All right, I'll go next, of course. My name is Simon James, aka Mista was so smooth, aka the smooth effect himself. The movie got baby. This was great. Again, second time watching Longlegs. Still didn't like the ending, as you could tell. But yeah, I got I got a chance to talk to Mr. Longlegs, give him some therapy, gave him some prescriptions. Too bad he's dead, so he's not going to be able to use them, but yep, that's just the way it is. Again, like Miss Malave said, be sure to enroll here at Night School Horror, which, as Big Money said, is the same as our previous school, Night School Horror. So excited about the next episode coming. Sabrina, where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah. I mean, we miss you, girl. We miss you. We miss the creepiness. All right, but I hope you get back here next week for class. But until then, students, stay safe, stay spooky, stay creepy. Peace.